Our planet is just packed with wonders. But some places, well, they look like they were pulled straight from a science fiction movie. We're talking about landscapes that seem to defy the very laws of nature. So today, we're going to explore some of Earth's most baffling geological puzzles. Our source material really puts it perfectly. We're looking at formations that are so bizarre, they seriously challenge our understanding. They kind of blur the line between what's natural and, well, something that feels almost uncanny.
And that's the big question for today, right? We're going to investigate these incredible planetary riddles, everything from structures that look like they were engineered by giants to canvases that were painted by time itself.
Okay, so first up, let's look at formations that seem so perfectly designed, they trick our brains into thinking they must be man-made. It turns out nature is an absolutely master architect. Our first stop is the Giant's Causeway. So science tells us these 40,000 near-perfect hexagonal columns were formed when a thick lava flow cooled down and cracked with just incredible uniformity. But the precision is so astounding that honestly it's easy to see why Irish legend says the giant Fionn McCumel built it as a bridge to Scotland. It's just a stunning example of how pure physics can create what looks like perfect geometry. Next, we're going to dive into a real mystery off the coast of Japan, the Yonaguni Monument. And the debate here is pretty stark. Are we looking at a natural wonder where sandstone just happened to fracture into these perfect, blocky shapes? Or could these sharp right angles and terrace structures actually be the ruins of a city submerged after the last ice age? Geologists are really split on this one, but features like that staircase make it really hard to just dismiss the idea of intelligent design. For now, the jury is definitely still out. All right, let's shift gears. We're moving from architecture to art. These are landscapes so beautiful and strange, they look like they were sculpted or painted by some surrealist master. And this is a true masterpiece. The wave in Arizona looks less like rock and more like liquid motion that's been frozen in time. These hypnotic, flowing lines were carved by millions of years of wind whipping across ancient sand dunes that had already hardened into rock. It's so incredibly delicate that access is super limited, all to preserve this amazing natural sculpture. Now, let's head over to Bolivia's Salar de Uyuni, the world's largest salt flat. Get this, it covers a staggering 10,000 square kilometers. But its mind-boggling size isn't even the most incredible part. The truly astonishing fact is this. Across that entire massive area, the elevation varies by less than 1 meter. Just think about that. This incredible flatness means that during the rainy season, a thin layer of water turns it into the world's largest mirror, creating these mind-bending illusions where the sky and the ground just completely merge into one. So we've seen how geology can imitate architecture and art. Now let's explore how it can become a kind of bizarre laboratory, creating these unique ecosystems where life evolves in the absolute strangest ways. This brings us to one of nature's great puzzles, Namibia's Fairy Circles. For decades, scientists were just baffled by these evenly spaced, barren patches in the desert. The leading theory now points to a really complex feedback loop, kind of like what's on the slide here. You have plants competing for scarce water, and at the same time, you've got termites engineering the soil underground. The combination of these forces is what creates this stable, polka-dotted landscape. It's a great reminder that sometimes simple patterns can emerge from incredibly complex interactions. And speaking of strange life, the island of Socotra is often called the most alien-looking place on Earth. And its unique geology is the whole reason why. These flat-topped limestone mesas create isolated microclimates, while underground cave systems channel the scarce water. This whole geological setup allowed these bizarre species to evolve in complete isolation, which resulted in wonders like the iconic, umbrella-shaped dragon's blood tree. Okay, for our final case file, we're going to the most extreme and inaccessible corners of our planet to uncover geological wonders hidden from pretty much all human eyes. We'll start deep in Antarctica, where wind and meltwaters sculpt these incredible deep blue ice caves. These stunning formations are totally ephemeral. They're constantly changing, collapsing, and reforming. But what's even more mysterious is what lies beneath them. We're talking about entire lakes and river systems hidden under kilometers of ice, holding secrets we haven't even begun to uncover yet. From the extreme cold, we're going to extreme heat.
Deep underground in Mexico, miners stumbled upon the Naica caves, which is basically a real-life crystal cathedral. These are the largest natural crystals ever discovered, gleaming selenite pillars, some as long as a bus. But getting here is a whole other story.
Just look at these conditions. The heat and humidity are so intense that a person couldn't survive for more than a few minutes without a very specialized suit. But here's the wild part. This totally lethal environment is precisely what allowed these giant crystals to grow over hundreds of thousands of years. The caves have since been reflooded, which means this otherworldly spectacle is now inaccessible once again. So, after touring all these impossible places, what's the big takeaway? What do all these strange landscapes really tell us about our world? Ultimately, I think these landscapes reveal a pretty profound truth. Our planet isn't just a static rock, it is a dynamic, creative force. Over immense timescales, the simple laws of physics and chemistry interact to produce patterns, structures, and art that far, far exceed anything humans could ever engineer or even imagine. And this leaves us with a final, really tantalizing thought. If these are the wonders we've already found, what else is out there? What other impossible landscapes are still hidden deep underground, or beneath the oceans, or under the ice, just waiting to be discovered? Thanks for joining me.